Shalom, I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Yashem Yahushua by Yashem Makal double honors to the apostles and the elders that rule well. And peace and blessings to you brothers out there that's kicking his word in sincerity, also in truth. You know, with these sanctions that's going on, with America and also China, this trade war, we're starting to see that America is being affected by it when it comes to our food supplies. I'm reading this article here, brother send it to our chat that we're in, and it's saying that the U.S. faces a catastrophic food supply crisis in America as farmers struggle. And so because of these these various sanctions that I was saying, these various farmers have to close down the farms because they're not able to make ends meet. Well, that's going to affect the food supply here in the U.S. And this can potentially cause a famine. Now, we know that a famine is caused by numerous things. One of those things is, of course, a shortage of food. Another thing is social unrest, which we're starting to see that occur more and more here in the U.S. So, the Most High is definitely setting something up. And we know that to be judgment on this place called Babylon the Great. So let's get to the article. Again, this is according to Blacklist News. The U.S. faces a catastrophic food supply crisis in America as farmers struggle. And it says American farmers are battling several issues when it comes to producing our food. Regulated low prices, tariffs, and the inability to export have all cut into the salaries of farmers. They are officially in crisis mode, just like the United States food supply. The farms economies in pretty tough shape, said John Newton, chief economist at the American Farm Bureau Federation. When you look out on the horizon on things to come, you start to see some cracks. Average farm income has fallen to nearly 15 years low until President Donald Trump's policy, and in some areas of the country, farm bankruptcies are soaring. And with slightly high interest rates, many don't see borrowing more money as an option. A lot of farmers are going to give the president the benefit of the doubt and have to date. But the longer the trade war goes on, the more that dynamic changes, said Brian Cool, executive director of Farmers for Free Trade, according to Politico. With no end of disastrous trade war in sight, many farmers have traveled to Washington to share their plight with the president himself, hoping that he'll end the trade war that's exasperating an already precarious food crisis. Farmers make up a fairly large chunk of President Trump's base, and an unwillingness to put food production in the United States first could be detrimental for Trump's re-election chances into the 2020. It could also be the beginning of a catastrophic food shortage. So you have all of these Edomites that voted for Donald Trump, who are all about making America great again. But lo and behold, he's making policies that, he's pushing policies that's detrimental to their livelihood. And this is beautiful, man. We start to see Psalms 63 and verse 8 coming to play. Their tongues are falling on themselves, man. In order for America to be made great again, first off, there's going to have war. It's going to have to take place. And also, secondly, there's going to have to be a lot of sacrifices that the American people are going to have to make, you see, because America is dependent off of imports, man. America doesn't make any goods here. A lot of manufacturing jobs are overseas, and you could blame that on the greed of really you Edomites, you see, due to outsourcing, things of that nature, man. So here you have Trump. He's trying to, turn things around. One thing that you see him pushing is America is producing its own oil, and that's why our oil is so cheap right now, So Donald Trump, he's trying to, really have it to where America is producing its own goods, but America is in a global economy, so making those type of moves is gonna really be seen as an act of war, man. You see, with all these trade wars going on, this is gonna cause problems here in the U.S. because again, the U.S. doesn't make anything, including food, and what little food we have, or produce, I should say, is being blocked from basically the global economy, man. So again, the Most High is about to send His wrath here, and one of those ways that He's going to send it is by a famine. Now this is Ezekiel 14:13. Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by transgressing grievously, then will I stretch out my hand upon it, and will break the staff of the bread thereof, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it. And that's what you see the Most High doing now. The Most High, is seeing this land, and He's judging it, man, because this place claims to be, a God-fearing country, but in fact it does everything contrary to the law, statute, and commandments, man. Here you have Donald Trump. He's trying to implement these scriptures, the Bible, into these various schools, but it's not going to happen, man. It's not going to be of any avail. The Most High has his mind, Salaki, on totally destroying this place, man. And again, a way that He's going to do that is He's going to break the staff of the bread. That means He's going to stop the production of food, man. And we're starting to see that. This is prophecy. 2 Ezra 15:1. Behold, son, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And and this is a whole end. That's going back to Ezekiel, the 14th chapter. The Most High sends these three things in order to do what? Well, these four things in order to do what? To issue out judgment, man. And that's what we see going on now. The Most High is issuing out judgment. You see, and the way that He's going to judge, America and the world is He's going to send famine upon it. You see, behold, said Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore said Yahweh, I will withhold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. So the Most High hearing our cries, man, which are the cries of the righteous, the brothers out there that's doing the work, the will of Yahweh by Shemi Shah. And so he's gonna stop these various agendas that the so-called white man is pushing, man. You know, he's gonna try to issue at that market of beast to try to be the God of try to be the God of the world. But again, the Most High is gonna stop all that, man, because he hears us crying out to him, man. You know, so when we see things like a famine that throughout the world and also in these developed countries, in particular in the U.S., that we rejoice to the Heavenly Father, because that's the way that the Heavenly Father is addressing this place. Okay? Call out Yahweh by Yeshua, Yahweh Shah.